Howdy folks, for today's video we are going to do just a channel status update as well as kind of like a mail call, and combined with a future projects in the horizon. So kind of a catch-all video. I don't know how long this one will be. Usually I start my videos saying I'm planning on doing a quick video, and then it ends up taking a little bit longer, so I'm not going to say it's going to be a quick video, but I don't think it'll be a long video. Alright, so first off, the channel status. So all my channel strikes have like worn off or timed out or phased out, whatever you want to call it. So those are done. But last week YouTube sent me an email saying your channel is fully demonetized due to something about content. And it's funny that if they think my content is dangerous, they still allow me to be there and post my content, but then they will just take away monetization. So anyways, channel's demonetized. I guess that's alright, whatever. But let's moving on to brighter things. Let's see what I got in the mail quite recently. And this one was it was kind of one of the deals on Black Friday, so Black Friday weekend. It was a combo pack of a QD mount, and this is a Riton, whatever you want to call it. Just a 30mm QD mount cantilever. And I picked up this Riton 3 Tactics 1:8 LPVO, so a low power variable optic. And so this is one of the things that I hope to do a video of soon. I'll probably do like a up close unboxing video and mount it and then go test it and see how it does, things I like and don't like. But that is on the horizon. The next thing, I've been meaning to do a video on this, and I have so many video projects I want to do, but I just run out of time. I have 4 teenagers and a job that keeps me busy sometimes at nights and stuff beyond the normal 8 hours. So, but this is one of my ARs. It's my AR pistol that has been Teflon coated, or as they would, as Lee from Black Ice would call it, his black ice coating. And it's like has the Teflon properties in that coating. And I've probably put about, I don't know, close to 1,000 rounds through this since it's been coated. And so I wanted to just run the crap out of it, and some of them have been most of them have been suppressed rounds, and it's a blowback design, so just all the carbon gets thrown back with that suppressor. And I wanted to do just kind of a overview of this little AR 9mm, and just talk about it and show a cleaning maybe of it after 1,000 rounds and see how good or bad it is with the coating. So just a couple videos with this. A couple people have commented about this, and they'll usually see it in the background of my when I'm chatting in the videos. And this connects to my Dylan 750 press over there, and it's the Sunbro Designs chute. Like, it's a it's a chute for the ejected rounds to go through. And then if you're cranking out a bunch of ammo or big ammo and you get tired of changing out the little bin that holds the ejected rounds, then this is handy. And I could do a video of it later in depth of why you'd want it. And I'm going to get one for my Hornady lock and load press, which it makes even more sense for me because of the fact that the Hornady bin holder it's separate from the press, and it's not mounted like I don't know, maybe it's the material that it is or whatever, but there's a little bit of flex, and so as you get more rounds in there, then it just starts sagging a little bit more if you add like a bigger bin on it. So this would be handy for that. So I'm waiting to get one of those for that press. Now, I bought this one case on Amazon, and you know, it had good reviews, and I just decided I would get one. Alright, so this case right here, it is a double rifle case, and it's made by Savior Equipment. And I really want to do a video on that case because I feel like of all the rifle cases, gun cases I've bought in the past, that one deserves a review, and I freaking love it. And I originally was looking for one for my friend that he's first getting into guns, and then I bought that one for him, and when it came in, I was like, oh geez, this is like a really good case, and so I needed to get one for myself. And then another friend came over, and he needed a case, and I showed it to him, and so I let him buy it from me, and then I just ordered another case, and I think that happened like 3 different times or something. So I'm on my 3rd or 4th case. And anyways, people really love this case, so I want to do a review on that at some point. And I've been talking about this next thing on the podcast a little bit, and that is this little handgun. This is a little Bersa Thunder 380, and this one, it's single action, and it is a double stack magazine. And what I was looking for when I was at the gun shop was an inexpensive 380 that didn't have to be like really small, like it didn't have to be like an LCP type handgun. And every time I start doing bulk reloading on my 9mm, I find tons of those little 380s that somehow find their way in. And me not even owning a 380, it's funny that they just keep getting into my brass bucket. So I figured if I actually had a gun that shot 380, then probably less 380 would show up, or it would just give me an excuse to use that brass. So I had looked in my lead. I have a bucket or bin of lead bullets or cast bullets that I've cast like a while ago, and I had a bunch of 380s sized ones that I had that I got the mold a while back, and was going to, well, I think I helped load some ammo. Well, okay, so I had a Ruger LCP for a bit, and then I sold it because I just didn't like it. And so I had this bullet mold for that, but I had cast up a bunch, and then after I sold the gun, I just threw those projectiles into the lost bullets bin. So I want to do a video kind of showcasing that Bersa, and I know it's not like a super fancy gun, but the trigger's actually decent on it, and I have test fired it and it shoots fine. So I want to do maybe a video of those cast bullets and that 380 Bersa, and just do maybe a short review on that. Now the next thing is this Beretta CX4 carbine, and I wouldn't say I have a love-hate thing with it, but it's kind of the rebounding pistol caliber carbine. And the reason I say that is because I think I bought one, and then I sold it, and then I bought another one because I kind of liked it, and then my friend wanted it, and so he bought it from me. And then I think about a year ago or so, I ended up picking up another one, and this time I got it in the flat dark earth because the other two were in black. And so I just want to do like a little video overview about this gun and why I like it, what I hate about it, and why it keeps coming into my my hands. But I also thought it'd be cool to get the barrel cut right there, or maybe right here, and then do thread it to about there. So do like a, you know, do some more SBR paperwork and get this converted to an SBR. I thought that would be kind of cool. Seems like that's the best version, or would be the best version of this gun, to be a little SBR, and then also to have it suppressed, because all pistol caliber carbines deserve to be suppressed. So that's on the docket for, you know, a future video. This, I've had some friends who've been telling me, oh, you need to get an MP5, you need to get an MP5 clone, this and that, and I've looked and they've always been so expensive, and I'm like, I've got an AR in 9 already and some other pistol caliber carbines. I don't really need another one. But then leave it to Palmetto, but they ended up doing their AR-V in somewhat of a look-alike of the MP5, and so they have this one. And the cool thing about this AR-V is that it takes the same mags as the AKV, and it takes the same mags as the Scorpion. So you can either get the Scorpion mags or the Palmetto made mags, and the Palmetto ones work great, and they're actually pretty cheap. They're probably the cheapest magazines for a pistol caliber carbine that I know of. And so this one has not seen as much range time as my other PCCs, so I'd like to get out and, you know, shoot this a bit more and get some footage of that, and do maybe like a little review or overview of this little MP5 look-alike, I'll say, because it doesn't look totally like it, but it kind of does. So another one that I want to, it's for a future project that I'm going to be working on, is, and this thing has all been kind of coming together pretty quickly so far, and that is, now I do a couple like varmint squirrel, like ground squirrel hunts, and I have one planned for this spring, and I have a 17 HMR, and you know, I guess that was one of the things I was going to show you, is I just got, like, I ordered about 1,000 rounds of 17 HMR, and that arrived, and so I have a really nice CZ 17 HMR, but I wanted to bring something that had, as well, I'll probably do most of the shooting with the 17, but I wanted something that was a little bit more oomph to it, like a, you know, 22-250 type, you know, gun, but something that you can shoot a little bit more rapid, not like you're gonna like rapid fire a varmint gun, but you know, a little bit faster, and something that the barrel doesn't heat up quite as fast as like a 22-250. And so I got this idea. The idea was to buy a Ruger American, and I didn't care if it was the Ranch or the Predator, just one of them that can accept AR-15 mags. And then, so I found one at the local shop, Gunny's, and Wyatt gave me a good deal on this one, and you can see like the action is already pulled out of the stock. And I had a friend, Mike, same name, who helped me pull off this barrel. He has a really cool action and barrel vise that is, it's homemade, and he has some fittings and everything. It's pretty awesome. So he took this off in like minutes, right? It was super fast, and so thanks, Mike, for that. But this one in particular is chambered in 350 Legend, and I don't have a need for that cartridge. But what I did want is something that shoots fast and feeds from AR-15 mags. And so I came up with the 20 practical cartridge. That was my choice. And so I'm going to see if I can get Kenny from the Eagle Eye Shooting channel to help me install a, well, not help me, he can do it. I am not going to be doing it. but get a barrel installed for the 20 practical made by Excalibur, and then throw it in an MDT chassis. And with that chassis, you know, takes AR mags, and I could clamp it into a tripod, and it seems like it'd be kind of like the perfect varminter gun. I think the 20 practical shoots the little tiny bullets out at about, I'd say 3,600 to about 4,200 feet per second, depending on the barrel length, bullet weight, etc. But that's plenty fast, and I'm thinking that the barrel will not heat up as fast as, you know, say like a 22-250, since there's a lot less powder. 20 practical is just a 223 neck down to 20, and so that's why it's called 20 practical, because it's just super easy. The brass, you just neck it down, and then you got a fast little varmint shooter that doesn't take a ton of powder. And, you know, anyways, that's the idea for that. I've also been, man, Palmetto, the last couple years for me, Palmetto's gotten a decent amount of my money. And I found this one right here. This is a Taylor's & Company 1911. And I was wondering if, so Taylor's & Company, I don't think they make their own guns. They submit requirements for different manufacturers and get kind of like limited editions made. Or they also, maybe they will get a bunch of guns made and then they take them and modify them. So I don't know what they do, but they usually come out with decent stuff. And I saw this on Palmetto on Closeout, and it's a railed 1911 and 45 ACP. And it has a fiber optic front sight. It has a little bit nicer trigger right there, and an adjustable rear sight. And a few years, oh, actually it's been quite a few years back, I sold my Springfield 1911 A1, and so I've been kind of looking for something a little bit, well, something to replace it with. And this fit the bill. This was $400 or so, and I tried to find out who was the manufacturer, whether it was like TSUS or the Rock Island Armory. And when I ended up picking it up, then it said it was made in the Philippines, which leads me to believe it is Rock Island Armory or Armscore. And so, and I have some Rock Island Armory 1911s, and I really like them. They work really well. So I'm excited to take this out, test it, break it in, and maybe do a gun review on that. Another Palmetto deal that I got, and I can't remember when I got this one, but it is the Palmetto Dagger, and this is a Glock 19 clone. This one I got for $300, and it came with a threaded barrel, suppressor height sights, and a co-witness and its optics cut for the Trijicon RMR, and so it co-witnesses fine. And it was a blem or something, and it was only $300. And so this thing, I've been putting a bunch of rounds through it. I don't think I have quite 1,000 yet, but it's run flawless. And so I want to do a in-depth review on this handgun, because it's just freaking awesome and it's amazing. And the trigger is like better than my standard stock Glock trigger. So, all right, next, I just have this really little thing. And this is a 44 mag, and it is a zinc bullet. So this was cast using an NOE mold that normally casts about 240, maybe 234, somewhere out there. And this cast out of zinc, it weighs 143. So 143 grain zinc 44 mag projectile. And I have plans on, I've already done a bunch of load data or load development and everything. I just haven't had time to come out with a video. It seems like that's the project that every time I start working on it, then something else comes up and it's kind of like squirrel. And that's one project that I really want to get going probably sooner than later, before everything is just outdated. This other gun that I wanted to do a review on, this is the Palmetto PSA, it's the Jackal, and this is a forward side charging piston upper that does not utilize a buffer tube. So I've been shooting this a bunch, and this one has it's a folding arm brace. It's made out of that rubbery stuff. And I have really enjoyed shooting this. And so I'd like to do a video, just kind of a quick overview of it, or a review or something. But yeah, I've been very pleased with this, and I think Palmetto is just killing it right now with all the stuff that they've been coming out with. All right, and this is the AKV. It's a little PCC in, well, I guess it wouldn't be technically a PCC, it'd be a pistol caliber pistol, so PCP. So we got this little PCP, or just a 9mm handgun or pistol, whatever you want to call it. And this is an AK, and these things are a blast. If you guys watch Uncle Jim's channel, he's done a couple videos on his, or maybe it's his son's, and they just put an ALG trigger in his, and they had a really good time with that. So the cool thing about this, takes the same Scorpion mags, AKV, AR-V, and the Palmetto ones are cheap. So if you like AKs and that little right side charging handle action, then these AKV and 9mm handguns, or I think they make them in a carbine configuration, but anyways, they're great. And so yeah, anyways, I wanna do a little video on this and just show some range time and things I like, things I don't like. Although I don't know if there's much I don't like about this. It's like a pure like thing, and my friends all like this thing too. So yeah, do a video on that. And now a couple other things I want to do. I have that 6mm ARC rifle, and I don't have it right here with me, and so I'll just show a picture. But this thing is one that Kenny built for me. I think it might have been last year, and I've been having a fun time with those 58 grain. It's kind of like a varmint load, and those things are cooking. And I've really enjoyed that rifle, and I need to do a video on it to just kind of show it off, I guess, and do some shooting with it. I think all the times that I've shot with it, it's been for enjoyment, so I haven't pulled out the cameras, and I just shot to have a good time. So, and I took some youth groups out, and they were using that, and it was drilling targets. So I really want to do a video on that as well. And I do have a 22 Creedmoor that I have not shot very much, and I really need to take that out and shoot it. But the place I go, sometimes the longer distance, like the places where you can set up the targets at longer distances, those are taken, and so I'm left with, like, you know, just a couple hundred yards, and it feels like a waste using that 22 Creedmoor at just a couple hundred yards. Now, that would make one killer coyote gun if you threw a 55 grain bullet in that thing. That would be probably, I don't know, faster than a 22-250. I think you have more case capacity than the 22-250, so the fast twist might spin apart some of the bullets, but yeah, that'd be kind of fun to try. But anyways, to make this long video just a little bit shorter, I will cut it off right here. I have lots of stuff I want to do, lots of projects I'm working on. Oh, before I forget, there was one more thing. So I picked up 2 bullet molds, these new ones, and they are the 453-200-SWC-CC6. And this one is a steel mold. It's just a 2-cavity steel, and if you look at this design, it's just a great design for lots of stuff. You could use this for being a semi-wad cutter with you know, a nice little bevel or radius on that nose. This one would be a great one for 45 ACP, 45 Colt, 45 whatever, right? And so being a steel mold, I got this one so that if by chance I wanted to do high velocity 45 ACP, I don't know, I could do that, or I could send them down range of my 460, whatever, right? With the zinc, you know, these would be really lightweight in zinc, so they wouldn't probably be that great for like long distance shooting, but just high velocity close stuff to just, you know, blow stuff up. And then the other one is just the aluminum mold that's in 5 cavity configuration. And what I mostly foresee myself using this for is going to be the 45 Colt. And I figure I could probably, with this design, I could crimp right inside that top loop groove and just use that loop groove as a crimp groove, and it should be fine. And I would assume that this would work fine in my lever gun, maybe in that Henry that I have undershot for so long. I've not really taken it out and shot it as much as it deserves, so maybe a bunch of duels on a dueling tree with this bullet design. And, you know, having it be in the middle of winter now, I think I might take Al up on his offer to use the NOE casting room where there's nice ventilation and heat. So I might go in there and do some winter casting if I'm feeling a little wussy. So yeah, 200 grain 45s, that's also on the docket to do. And oh man, there's also I was doing some AK reloading and Mosin Nagant reloading, and we took the AK stuff and also shot it in an SKS, and it's a little 135 grain NOE, gas checked, coated, and I'd love to do a video on that also. But anyways, so the point of this video is to kind of give my most loyal viewers and listeners the opportunity to choose your own adventure, or at least choose my adventure. So if there's something in particular that you saw today in this video that you want me to prioritize on the video list, leave a comment and tell me, because as you guys know, I do pay attention to the comments. I try to respond to all of them that I can. Sometimes there's some that slip through the cracks, but I do value your opinions. And so if you guys recommend or want a specific thing done, I will focus my time and efforts and range days in the, you know, upcoming range days on those particular projects and try and get that content to you sooner than later. So anyways, thanks for watching. Stay safe, have fun, and I hope you have a great Christmas and New Year's. Thanksgiving is over. Many thanks was given. All right, later.